Noon starts right now.
This noon, we're tracking some potentially nasty weather. It's already having an effect this weekend on some plans as well.
TxDOT postponed a major closure plan for this weekend on the northwest side because of expected rain and windy weather. The interchange at Loop 1604 and Interstate 10 scheduled to be shut down starting tonight through Monday morning. Excuse me, but that closure will be rescheduled for another weekend.
Construction crews need to place the final beams that are going to go on a flyover ramp that will connect Loop 1604 East to I-10 West to Bernie. But that's going to have to wait for these storms to pass. Right now, though, can't really see any activity out there, at least not here in San Antonio.
Yeah, I'm not sure I want a construction worker that high up with the wind blowing 35, 40 miles an hour.
No, it's just overcast right now.
Yeah, that's a good point, David. It's not so much the rain I think they worry about. It is the wind. We're going to get some gusty winds showing up Saturday afternoon and then again on Sunday. We do have some showers on Authority radar at this shower. We've had a few through San Antonio, but right now the bulk of that activity is up there around New Braunfels and San Marcos and moving out to the north and east. This is kind of an initial piece of energy that's coming through, but we've got more on the way, and activity is really going to start to pick up tonight. So here's the satellite picture, and you can see some of these showers that have developed, but we also have some clearing off to the west. So this is going to allow for some destabilization of the atmosphere with the warming and the sun being out. And I think we could see a few peaks of sun here in San Antonio. Big upper level low taking shape now over parts of New Mexico. And that energy will swing through as we head into late this afternoon and tonight, developing showers and storms. This is around 7 o'clock. And then even around 10 o'clock, midnight, probably till about 4 a.m., we will have a chance for some storms overnight. Could be a little bit loud, and we could see some severe weather too. This area outlined in yellow, especially the darker color, that's where the risk of severe weather will be. It includes basically all of our area. On a scale of 1 to 5, this is a 2. What are the main threats? Well, we're talking hail here. I think that kind of tops the list. But some gusty winds too. And if you're timing out your evening, 30% chance at 4 o'clock. Storms will be mainly west at this point. But by 8, midnight, that's when we could see some storms here in San Antonio, and some severe weather will be possible. We think that rain winds down by 4 a.m. and it's out of here in time for the Western Heritage Parade and cattle drive tomorrow morning. We're going to talk much more about this potential for strong storms and those gusty winds this weekend coming up here in just a few minutes.
All right, Justin, look forward to that. Thank you. Along with beds and breakfast, there's bad news at a local motel. San Antonio police say they found a man there suffering from stab wounds and other injuries. As Katrina Weber tells us, police believe he was attacked, possibly during a robbery.
All around the white building, red and blue lights atop patrol cars and yellow crime scene tape stand out. San Antonio police officers were responding to a call from paramedics before 6 this morning when they found a man bleeding at the Quality Inn and Suites near I-10 and UTSA Boulevard. He told them he was the victim of an attack.
We can confirm that he did have stab wounds to his body. He was badly beaten. He was not exactly able to tell us exactly what happened, so that investigation is still ongoing.
He also was not able to tell them who did it, and they could only guess at where it happened. Police later said it seemed to have happened during a robbery.
He's reporting this occurred at a different location, but he was found at this location.
What they also found out later is that it may have happened in a ground floor room. Police zoned in on that room, waiting for a warrant to search it. But they still kept the entire hotel as their crime scene until well after daylight. There are bloody footprints like this all along the walkways and on both sides of this hotel. Assuming this is the victim's blood, police couldn't tell us who left these here. The footprints appeared to lead from that room to almost the entire perimeter of the parking lot. We couldn't help but notice there also are surveillance cameras all around. It's possible they could hold clues for investigators, showing them who attacked the man. Police say at last check he was stable and being treated at a hospital. Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
We are now asking Uvalde CISD why one of its schools was not locked down when a gun was found on campus. The district says the student brought the weapon to Morales Junior High School yesterday morning. The student who brought the gun now faces disciplinary action. It's not clear if it was loaded, but Uvalde CISD's statement says the student only planned to sell the gun to another student. The district also says the gun was not intended to harm students or staff. However, some Morales school parents are telling KSAT their students have claimed otherwise.
Staffing and funding issues. The reasons a local 10-year-old coding boot camp just up and closed its doors abruptly after Christmas. A statement posted on CodeUp's website cites hiring freezes, funding changes, and a, quote, inability to retain essential teaching resources. It goes on to say in the statement that rather than continuing in a way that would not deliver results, the best choice was to find our remaining students places in other programs. CodeUp also says its team is still working to assist students, alumni, and teammates. Those still looking for help with new programs or employment can contact CodeUp at the email on your screen. Next steps at codeup.edu.
And right now on KSAT.com, the Texas Department of Public Safety launching a new free database that can take some of the guesswork out of the violent crime background checks that you may want to see. It contains the names of people who have been convicted of certain violent offenses. The violent offender database only shows, though, convictions of assault, sexual assault, and aggravated assault on 2 or more occasions. It also includes information on defendants convicted of aggravated sexual assault involving family violence, which does include continuous violence against the family, stalking, or any combination of such offenses. This database, created by House Bill 5202 during the last regular session of the Texas legislature. You can learn more about it. All you have to do is scan this QR code on your screen. That'll take you to KSAT.com, where you'll also find a link to the database.
It's been our top story all week, and even days later, there's still more to uncover as we continue to dig into the Bexar County District Attorney's relationship with a group known as the Wren Collective.
Text messages obtained by KSAT 12 show that there are years of communication between the Bexar County DA, Joe Gonzalez, his first assistant, and the founder of a nonprofit called the Criminal Justice Reform Group. Eric Hernandez joins us now in the studio with the latest. Now, we started talking about this a couple of months ago. Remind us about how all this came about, that you heard the DA's office and the Wren Collective began to have a relationship.
So I got in contact by a source at the Justice Center saying, have you heard of the Wren Collective and have you heard of the relationship with the DA's office? I first off was like, who is the Wren Collective? You know, quick Google search, you'll find out their background, their criminal justice reform group. And so I thought it was really interesting. And so we immediately just put in for the request of any conversations had between the DA's office and
which are public record.
Which are public record between them and the Wren group. At first, it was going to be a lot to have everybody's, but then we made it more specific. Let's just hear from the DA himself and his first assistant, who handle a lot of the business for the office. And it almost more than 2 months later, it came in, and it was, it's been shocking.
Is this the stack?
This is the stack, and this is half of it because I put 2 sides of it on one page. But I mean, it's
a lot.
It's a lot to unpack.
Yeah.
Now, we know that you've been working all week long on some of the communications between the Wren Collective and the District Attorney's office. And we know that this goes deep. There's many, many layers, like an onion. You just keep peeling layers and layers and layers.
Yeah.
And one thing we haven't touched on a whole lot is the reaction from some of the judges that were presiding over cases that there was communications between this Wren Collective and the DA's office.
Yeah, I mean, the judiciary is talked about, conversations that the office had with judges or magistrate judges, and we get into that today. We actually just came back from speaking to Judge Ron Munhell, who was the administrative judge at that time when these conversations were being had. And I do, a lot of this will come out in the story later, but one of the comments that I asked just for an initial reaction from him, and in his words exactly, was a little surprising to me that anybody would take such direction from an outside group, a group that doesn't understand Bexar County, the citizens of Bexar County, and the way things work in this community.
And we should also mention that this company, this nonprofit company, I guess it used to be a for-profit company, now it's a nonprofit.
Yes.
Is based out of California. They don't live in Bexar County. The person who runs it is in Austin.
Yes.
And
we had to do some digging because it wasn't very there wasn't much, we couldn't find a lot of information on this group at first. Dylan did a really good job in digging earlier this week to see where kind of the donations go, and it immediately leads to a group, out of California. So there was a lot of things that we're still trying to figure out about the Wren Collective, and we've been reaching out. We've been trying to call them. We've been, emailing, and there's just no response at all.
Now, you touched yesterday that a former prosecutor broke down the possible violations of that relationship that you have uncovered.
Yeah.
What are they saying?
So Meredith Chacon, we had her on yesterday. She worked for Susan Reed and she worked for Nicola Hood. One thing she wanted to make very clear was that justices should be blind. She's like, I worked for a Republican, I've worked for a Democrat. It doesn't matter when it comes to when you get into a courtroom. And the violations she was concerned about was obviously that she said that it's violating his job duties per the penal code. Secondly, because there was no in his campaign reports, he's supposed to put any kind of conversations he's having, especially, if they're not being paid for, then they're still providing a service. It's not listed in those reports. And then thirdly, she said, obviously, the biggest concern is the conversations had about specific cases and how those could be damaging to those cases.
We also want to remind people that we did have the DA on our 6 o'clock news earlier this week. You can see that interview. It's a 2-segment interview with Myra Arthur and Steve Spriester, and they cover a lot of different aspects. They cover this Wren Collective. They go into deep. He answers a lot of the questions. If you want to see that interview, it's on our website. It's on our YouTube channel. You can find it out there. And it's a very interesting interview. But now the question is has anything that has been done, has it been shown to be illegal? Is he in any kind of legal trouble right now?
I think it depends who you ask. Some people say yes, others say, oh, well, no. We haven't really gotten, besides Meredith giving us those kind of direct violations, a straight answer. I'm not a lawyer. I want people to know that. This is just as much as me trying to understand what's going on here. I've called different people to try to get some understanding because it is a lot to unpack, but no one has officially directly said that yet. And it's still something we're trying to figure out.
So as we continue to peel the onion, there's a lot here. Coming up ahead today, we're going to talk to one of the judges who was affected by the decisions and the conversations that are in this stack of communications.
Yeah, Judge Rangel is very. And how I explained it to him, look, we're not trying to start a war between you guys and the DA's office because what's the most important thing are the cases that are being looked. That has to still get done. Those have to still, victims' families, everybody has a right to their day in court. So my whole intention was the judiciary is still involved. We still want to hear from the judiciary. And he did comment. He is concerned. He even says it would be nice if they would even call us this week to have a conversation.
Oh, they have not even reached out after this came out.
They have not reached out.
And I think one of the most important things for us to remember is these are elected officials.
Yes.
These people are voted on by the citizens of San Antonio and Bexar County, and we feel like they have a right to know what's going on in these offices.
Yes, and we hope, I don't want anybody to think we have any kind of leanings either way. Like I said, justice should be blind, but it is concerning, especially when specific cases are talked about. And one of those, like we talked about yesterday, the death penalty case, which was the Otis McCain case. That was a very long trial that we sat through in 2021. And to know that these conversations could affect the appeal process is very disturbing.
And another one that came up in your reporting was the Eric Cantu case. The minute that case hit the public spotlight, there were conversations as to how to handle it, what to do, and all of it coming from outside of Bexar County.
It will be interesting to see what comes up. So next week, James Brennan, who was the officer who is charged in that case, has a change of venue hearing. In next week, I think it's Wednesday. It'll be interesting to see if his attorneys bring this up in that hearing in any way. So
and your investigation into this is nowhere near being over. I mean, you still got all these pages.
Like you said, it's an onion.
Yeah, you got a lot to look through. So there's still a lot of layers to uncover here.
Yes.
So, well, done a great job so far, and we're finding out a lot of information that a lot of people need to know.
Yeah, our hats are off to you and Dylan.
Thank you
for uncovering all of this, and we certainly are going to keep an eye on it.
Yep, we will continue to follow that. Speaking of following, we're going to follow the Spurs. They're going to try to take advantage of another home game, but they are going against a team that has already blown them out twice this season. A preview coming up.
I've got my boots on. Do you? Rodeo season is here. And don't forget, a scene from the Old West is going to be recreated tomorrow downtown.
And you can join us tomorrow morning for the annual Western Heritage Parade and Kennel Drive. You can line the parade route, watch the bands, the carriages, the horses, and of course, the Longhorns, the famous Texas Longhorn cattle, are going to make their way down Houston Street, kind of like the old times when they used to
do that.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the real deal, y'all. The parade is set to begin at 11 a.m. tomorrow morning, and if you can't be there in person, you can watch the procession on all of our platforms on KSAT 12, KSAT Plus, the YouTube, and KSAT.com.
Ursula and I will be there to meet and greet some of our KSAT insiders. And oh, by the way, glad you're going to be there tomorrow. Yes. Welcome back.
Thank you.
You've been missed for the last week and a half.
Yes.
A little procedure going on?
Yes, I had to have a little surgery about a week ago. Didn't want to put it off, even though we have the rodeo coming. I wanted to be over by the time the rodeo happened. Right. I had my gallbladder removed, which I now understand is a very common procedure for women my age. So anyway, a little achy still, but I'm real glad to be here. I just can't get on that wagon.
We're glad you're back.
You missed us. That's the whole thing.
I did. I tell you what, it's not a lot of fun to be flat on your back for a week. But
I believe it.
But anyway, we'll have fun tomorrow, and I'm going to meet all the insiders tomorrow. I'm just not going to get in the wagon and try to, I want to pop a stitch.
No, we don't need that. I'm sure they'll appreciate you being there, and we're happy to have you back. It's good to see you. Glad you're recovering well.
But, I was expecting him to kind of go, because he doesn't like it when we talk about blood and guts.
It's okay. It's all right.
You're okay?
Yeah, we're good. I'm okay.
All right.
I prepared myself.
It's very delicate.
Yeah. Well, very quickly, let's take a look at the radar real quick, and I'll show you guys. We have a few showers out there right now. We're going to see those showers kind of continue for a couple more hours, and then we'll have some storms coming up tonight. We're going to talk all about that threat for severe weather and the cattle drive tomorrow.
Yeah.
What does the weather look like? Those details coming up.
I guess the most important thing we've heard so far is the rain will be
should
away
be
from
over
us
by the time the cattle start driving down the street.
Yeah, there still might be some wet roads, but I think a lot of that's going to be clearing out pretty quick. Tonight, though, I do want to warn people that, we could see some storms. It could be a little bit loud from time to time. So if you're hoping to get a good night's rest, I can't guarantee that one. You want to, remember the dogs, too, the thunder and lightning. They may get a little bit scared from time to time. But as far as severe weather goes, yes, there is also a chance for that, too. And we'll talk about that in a second. First, though, I've got to point out we've got some showers out there right now. Nothing really across San Antonio. There is some drizzle, so you may still have to use your windshield wipers if you're driving around. But the heavier stuff, if you want to call it that, it's up here in Comal County. And these are really just some quick downpours. We're also seeing a few more around Kerrville. This is just kind of the appetizer because we've got more lift and more energy headed our way as we head into the late afternoon and evening hours. A little closer look here, right around Canyon Lake, seeing some rain at this hour. Spring Branch, right down to the Boulevardy area with some showers. And these are lifting off to the north and east pretty quickly. So you're not going to get a lot of rain out of this, but we, again, could see quite a bit more tonight. 65 right now, dew point 61. This is an important number because it has jumped up significantly. When you walked outside this morning, you probably noticed, hey, this feels way different than it has all week long. And that's because the moisture poured in. We had some clouds and it kept temperatures up overnight. And right now we're getting a southerly wind at about 8, so it continues to pump in that moisture. We could see a bit of sun this afternoon. There is some clearing as you get out towards Uvalde and Sabinal, Lakey. But at the moment, we're still socked in with cloud cover here in San Antonio. That clearing line will try to move east. There's no guarantee that the sun will pop out. But if it does, it just kind of adds to the instability that we have out there with the warming of the atmosphere out ahead of our storm system, which is a big one, spinning now over parts of New Mexico. This is a dynamic system. And as some of that energy pulls into Texas, there is that threat for stronger storms. Here's the setup, and you see the low spinning there. You got the energy starting to take shape out across parts of New Mexico and far west Texas. And as it progresses, these storms will build. This is around 8 o'clock. And then as we get towards the 10 o'clock hour, you got a couple of broken lines here of storms that'll be making their way through Texas. The severe risk does include basically all of our area minus our far eastern counties here. And on a scale of 1 to 5, this is a 2. So we're talking about gusty winds and hail being the main threats. It's still fairly low end, but we've got to watch it. And a little closer look here at the forecast. This is 3 p.m. Storms building out west. Then they work their way towards San Antonio. This is around dinner time, 5 or 6 o'clock. These storms just to the west of town. And then by 8, 9 o'clock, we got storms moving through. This is when it could be a little bit loud. And even around midnight, I still think we're seeing storms that are pushing through San Antonio with another broken line. This is 2 a.m. And then by 4 or 5 o'clock, they are quickly pushing east. And by sunrise, these storms are out of here. And we'll have sunny skies much of tomorrow. It'll just be a little bit breezy. So the timeline, once again, as you plan out your evening, 30% chance at 4 o'clock, 60% chance at 8 p.m., 70% chance at midnight, and then we'll see rain ending by 4 a.m. The threats, the severe threats. It's a moderate threat of hail. That's kind of the top of the list here when it comes to what we're going to worry about. Winds are also there. Some flooding, localized flooding. Can't rule that out, and the tornado threat is rather low. As far as rainfall goes, about ½ an inch to an inch here in San Antonio. That's what we're expecting. You'll see some higher totals off to the east, lower numbers off to the west. And very quickly, we got to touch on the winds. Gusty winds tomorrow, but even stronger winds Sunday morning. Gusts 40 to 45 possible. Extended forecast, 70 Saturday, 69 Sunday, and windy. And we got some pretty good weather much of next week before we head into rodeo time. But we'll have we'll be watching the radar closely tonight. Meteorologist Adam Caskey and me and Montgomery will be here to keep you updated should anything pop up, guys.
Glad to know that. Thank you.
Yep. SA Live Market Square question of the day. Ursula, you've been out a while, so my question for you two is, do you guys like to have a makeup test you can take? Because you missed some really good questions this week.
Oh,
I have a question this time.
We'll have to go back.
We're going to get to our
We're going to get to our question, though, in a moment. But first of all, you know, you're talking about Western Heritage Parade and Cattle Drive, which we, of course, are going to be hosting. We've got some of the stars of the show right here. Yes, indeed.
They may be small, but they are mighty.
One of them said they had a little bit of a sore throat.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, with this weather up and down.
Because they're a little hoarse.
You've been waiting to say that.
Yes,
I have. Oh my gosh, you're so happy.
Anyway, we're going to chat with them a little bit more. But the question is, thank you very much for that, is?
Of course, because of Groundhog Day, which day in your life would you live over and over again? Scan that QR code and let us know. Ursula?
That's a good one.
At my age, I got a lot of days. I've got to stop and think about that for a while.
I think it was the day I got married to my husband. I think that was probably the most perfect day ever.
I have 2 kids. I can't go with one day and not the other. So
I know. Well, I thought of that. You can't say when my son was born.
You know, when I got married, so there's a third day. You can't narrow it down to one day, can you?
You guys hash that out.
Okay, here we go.
We'll come up with more little horse puns, and we will see you in about 45 minutes or 40 minutes or so.
That was a good one, Mike. I like that one.
Okay, she needs to text me about where she got that hat. That's too pretty.
NFL Pro Bowlers tested their skills at some pretty unusual events this weekend, and another UTSA Roadrunner has a shot at being a top NFL draft pick coming up this spring.
Football coverage brought to you by Davis Law Firm.
It is the lull time between the NFL championship games and the Super Bowl, so the NFL Pro Bowl weekend is here. Last night's skills challenge, Texans rookie C.J. Stroud put on a clinic in his Pro Bowl debut. In the precision passing, 1 minute to hit as many targets as he could. Stroud hit 29 points worth of targets, although Baker Mayfield edged out the rookie 9-8 in the final. Benefiting the NFC, Cowboys wide receiver CeeDee Lamb. This looks like fun. Dodgeball with a bunch of NFL guys. That's the game right there. Another win for the NFC. Best for the last. Cowboys punter Brian Anger took the crown in the closest to the pin. No, he didn't punt it. He actually got to hit it, but he hit it pretty close. So there's your skills events. They wrap up on Sunday. Time to improve your stock in the NFL draft. UTSA's all-time leading receiver Joshua Cephas played in the East-West Shrine Bowl in Frisco. Cephas impressed all week leading up to the game and did more of the same during the game, wide open for that 2-point conversion. Here's what should really impress scouts. Cephas owns the second lowest drop percentage among 2024 NFL draft receivers. Cephas has met with several NFL teams in the pre-draft process and hopes to become the first UTSA receiver drafted in school history. Hey, the Spurs won 2 straight. Looked like they might get on a nice winning streak roll, but since then they have lost 2 in a row. The latest Wednesday against Orlando, 108-98. Spurs clawed their way back into the game from 25 down, but couldn't maintain the same energy throughout the course of the game. Often when San Antonio has momentum, they become turnover riddled. Devin Vassell dropped the game high 26 from the loss, while Western Conference Rookie of the Month Victor Wembanyama added 21. Jeremy Sohan had a double-double. But what really hurt them, 12 turnovers in the first part of the third quarter. That makes it hard to get a win. So they'll try to.
Big shout out to Blake Wesley for bringing that energy, getting back-to-back steals. Just kind of bringing that energy for us to kind of get back into that fourth quarter. We got to play better in that third quarter. Too many turnovers, dry possessions, and just had them basically doing layup lines. And it's tough to come back in the fourth quarter down 20. We did a great job, obviously, cutting that lead back down and, making it a game. But, we kind of shot ourselves in the foot with that one.
Yeah, they can't afford to do that tonight against the New Orleans Pelicans. These two teams have already met twice so far this year. The Spurs lost both of them. They got blown out by both, like 15 in the first one, and that one here, they got blown out by like 36. So let's hope they can turn this thing around tonight.
Oh, yeah. Keep it positive.
So you come back with all this confidence. I like that.
Go Spurs. New today at 5. February, a very short month, packed with a super game, presidential vibes, and a lot of love. The retailers are marking the occasion with a lot of sales in-store and online. Some of the big ticket items you can get a good price on in the month of February, today at 5 after Entertainment Tonight. Take a look outside with live cam. Hit a few sprinkles on the way into work. Very foggy, very cloudy. And you've got a few more hours to figure out what you're going to do because it's going to rain hard tonight.
Yeah, there's some pretty good odds of seeing some rain tonight. So if you have Friday evening plans, this is something you want to keep in mind. It's not that everyone's going to get rain all at once. It'll be kind of scattered about as we head into the overnight hours, but there is a decent chance of it, and there could be some strong storms mixed in. What are we seeing right now? Radar still revealing some showers up there north of San Antonio. These are tracking out to the northeast at a pretty good clip. We've seen some decent downpours here, but nothing that would cause a lot of problems. You can see some of the activity there around Canyon Lake. We've got a little cell that is actually producing some lightning strikes just to the west of Canyon Lake there around Spring Branch. Is where we're seeing that, moving right towards Fisher, right there. Little cell, it's moving quick, so you're not going to get a lot of rain out of it, but this is just kind of the precursor of what's to come. We're also starting to see some showers and storms take shape up there around Kerr County and Gillespie County. We'll keep an eye on all of this, but the main action will arrive later this evening. Pollen count, Mount Cedar is moderate at 310, Boulder low at 240. We'll hopefully see Mount Cedar come down with rain in the forecast. 4 o'clock, 30% chance rain here in San Antonio. We'll call it a 60% chance at 8 p.m. and a 70% chance at midnight. And by the way, in the meantime, we still could see a little bit of drizzle, but it's that 8 to midnight time frame where our rain chances really increase and we could see some of those stronger storms. What about the Western Heritage Parade and Cattle Drive? It's getting underway at 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. Looks good. We'll have cleared out by then. Skies will be sunny. The only thing we'll need to worry about are some westerly winds gusting close to 30 miles per hour, and that really is all the way through the parade. Temperatures will be around 66 at 1 p.m. And winds get even gustier on Sunday. What does that mean for our fire weather concerns? We'll look at that here in just a few minutes.
Okay, Justin. Thank you. President Biden is out on the campaign trail as presidential politics threatens to derail bipartisan deals on the border and with taxes. Biden is pressing Congress for asylum restrictions, a big shift from his stance when he took office. He's also doing it under pressure not just from Republicans, but Democrats in his own party, including elected officials in cities thousands of miles away from the border, who are feeling the effects of asylum seekers who are showing up in the United States in record numbers. Texts of the latest border deal have not been released yet. However, many House Republicans say they're going to vote against this bill, all of it prompting frustration on both sides of the aisle.
We're saying the quiet part out loud, that we're focused on the next election.
How much does politics impact this in an election year? Between this
impacts everything. My goodness, you can't get a resolution recognizing motherhood and apple pie without having politics come into it.
Meantime, Governor Greg Abbott will be at Shelby Park in Eagle Pass on Sunday. He'll be there not alone, but with 14 other governors who are going to be talking about the current border crisis in their state. Shelby Park has seen the site of recent controversy between Texas state and federal law enforcement over the crisis that's going on at the border right now. The governor said to provide an update on Operation Lone Star and border policies. KSAT 12 will have a crew there. We're going to bring you the very latest now and over the weekend.
And speaking of taxes, a bipartisan tax bill that overwhelmingly cleared the House Wednesday is running into Republican resistance in the Senate. The $78 billion tax passage would expand the child tax credit, with the largest benefit going to lower income families. It would also restore key business tax benefits. But now a number of Republican senators are raising issues with that legislation. Some of the concerns wanting to strengthen work requirements for the tax child credit and finding a different way to pay for the expanded tax break. Others are also pushing for the bill to go through committee instead of just going directly to the Senate floor. The U.S. Treasuries are telling Americans that they are being among the millions of people who have cashed assets waiting to be claimed. According to the National Association of Unclaimed Property Administrators, over 30 million people in the U.S. have unclaimed property. Not only that, but also unclaimed money from inactive bank accounts, unused rebate cards, uncashed paychecks, dividend checks, or life insurance policy payouts. It also could be securities from an old safe deposit box or an inheritance. If you'd like to find out if you have any unclaimed property out there, you can search online at claimittexas.org, or you can call 800-321-2274.
If you have a case of wintertime wanderlust and it's getting the best of you, it might be a good time to start narrowing down where you would like to go, when you can score the best travel deals for a getaway next.
The holiday season ended just a few weeks ago, but if you can't wait for another vacation, now is a great time to book a winter getaway.
Tiffany Huertas has some tips on how you can score the best travel deals now.
If one of your New Year's resolution is to travel more, now may be a good time to start booking those flights.
We're after the busy holiday travel season and before spring break.
Expedia travel expert, aka the travel mom, Emily Kaufman, says it's best to book domestic air travel at least 28 days in advance. That can land you roughly 24% in savings. For international travel, she says it's best to book at least 60 days ahead, saving you about 10%, but no more than 4 months out. So if you're looking to go overseas this summer, now is the time to start thinking about plans. But remember, traveling during peak summer season likely won't land you any deals. But holding off until September can help you find cheaper prices.
If you have any flexibility, it's going to be less crowded and more affordable to go at different times.
Being flexible on destinations can also land you some deals.
We're seeing an uptick in people visiting places that are a little off the beaten path, but still have the same vibe and flavor of the more popular destinations. For example, Curacao instead of St. Martin, Taipei instead of Seoul, Memphis instead of Nashville.
Being flexible with the day of your departure and arrival can also help you find cheaper options, like traveling during the week instead of the weekend. Tiffany Huertas, KSAT 12 News.
We're going to take a look outside with live cam because we got to batten down the hatches, potentially.
Yeah, we're still waiting on a few storms. You know, it's early February. You might be saying, well, this isn't severe weather season. But we know around here it can happen any time of year, and we are going to have a risk for some storms tonight. It's going to be loud, if nothing else, so be prepared for that overnight. 68 so far today. 61 was the low this morning. You'll notice we didn't drop much. A lot of moisture. A lot warmer than our record low of 6 set back in 1951, and our record high is 85 set back in 1974. We're not getting there. But we'll watch for those storms. We've got a radar update for you, and we'll talk about some gusty winds over the weekend, too, coming up.
All right, so we've already seen a little bit of rain. Maybe that's a prelude to what's going to happen tonight, and get that out of the way because, you know, we've got a big day tomorrow.
Yeah, roads might be still wet in the morning if you're going to the parade, but hopefully all the rain will be gone.
Yeah, I think the rain will be gone. And then, you know, if we get some gusty winds tomorrow morning, it will dry everything out pretty quickly. The timing's not so bad here, other than, as I said earlier, it might wake you up tonight. Some rumbles of thunder, or maybe you're a deep sleeper, maybe it won't even bug you. But we are seeing some thunderstorms already. These aren't the big ones that we're waiting for tonight, but they will put some lightning down and maybe some brief heavy rain. What we're seeing is some development here in Gillespie County, just to the east of Fredericksburg. This will work between Fredericksburg and Johnson City. We've got other showers and actually a few more lightning strikes as you get down into parts of Comal County, just moving north into Hayes County. But nothing here around San Antonio. It's actually pretty quiet. We've had a little bit of drizzle here and there, but nothing that's been very heavy yet. Again, we're waiting on the more activity, the more robust activity to arrive later today. 65 right now, dew point is at 61. Southerly winds at 8 miles per hour, pumping out a ton of humidity, and that's why we have clouds. Here's what we're thinking with the forecast. By the time we get to 3 o'clock, we've got storms that are starting to develop out west. So places like Del Rio and Eagle Pass, this is when you're initially going to see some storms, and they could be strong even at this point. But they will quickly work east at 5 o'clock. They're moving just west of San Antonio, and I say by the evening hours, maybe you're going out for a late dinner tonight, know that there will be some storms around. And this is also a point in which we could see some strong storms. These will continue to be around the San Antonio area through midnight. I think we'll get a couple of broken lines here. So one that'll come through, and then we may get another one behind that could produce some storms even around 2 a.m. before this all shifts out of here by, say, 4 or 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. So this is pre-sunrise. And by 7 o'clock, this is actually exiting our eastern counties. So the timeline is sped up just a little bit, and that will clear us out nicely for Saturday. What are the main threats? As we've been saying, it's hail. I think that really, especially initially, when you get those storms out west, we could get some larger hail. But even here around San Antonio, I can't rule out some storms that produce some hail during the overnight hours. Gusty winds are some of the stronger winds too, or stronger storms, I should say. And then flooding, I think this will be localized. So where we see some of the heavier rain with the larger storms, there could be some minor flooding, but I don't expect that to be widespread. So our forecast today, 69 at 3 o'clock. We may see a few peaks of sun, but it'll be brief. Then we start to ramp the rain chances up. 30% chance at 6 o'clock, 40% chance at 7 p.m., up to a 50 and 60% chance by 8 and 9 o'clock. And it's overnight, 10 o'clock to midnight, where we really start to bring the rain chances up to 70%. And behind this system, we're going to get some gusty winds. So tomorrow, this is around 4 o'clock tomorrow, we've got gusts 20 to 25. We can deal with that. Westerly wind, it'll be stronger as you get out towards Del Rio and Eagle Pass. But it's Sunday morning when the winds really start to kick up. We could see some gusts 40 to 45, and even going into, say, mid-morning on Sunday, gusts around 40 here in San Antonio. So it's going to be a very windy morning. It will take until Sunday evening for these winds to really subside. That also brings into play a fire danger on Sunday. If you live out in Del Rio, Eagle Pass, Uvalde Lake, any of those areas you see in orange or dark orange, that's where we have a high to very high fire risk. And if a fire gets started, it could spread very quickly with those kinds of winds. These are areas that have not seen a lot of rain. So we'll be watching that on Sunday. Extended forecast, 70 tomorrow. That's in the wake of that storm system, 69 Sunday. So this is not a big cool down. 64 Monday, maybe a bit of cloud cover, but then pretty good weather Tuesday and Wednesday. And as we head towards rodeo time, not bad either. Maybe some rain chances coming back into play next weekend. But as for tonight, keep that KSAT weather app handy. We'll send you updates, and if there are any warnings or anything like that, we'll let you know via the KSAT weather app. We'll be right back.
All right, now it's time to head to SA Live, downtown Market Square, getting ready for Western Heritage Weekend.
And it is a very good day as a result for Mike's favorite joke. Okay, picture this.
Yes,
a horse walks into a bar.
Okay. You'll take it from there. I'll let you finish that one. But yeah, we got some of the stars of the Western Heritage Parade and Cattle Drive with in our midst today, I should say.
That's right. Take a look at these guys behind us. The miniature horses are here along with a Shetland pony as well.
High stocking miniatures and Shetlands. They've been in the Western Heritage Parade and Cattle Drive for more than 10 years now. I mean, just one of the records. You can't have it without these little guys. Also, you know, all of the heritage, the Western heritage around here is so wonderful. And Charia and Raul and Mariella are also going to be in the Western Heritage Parade and Cattle Drive tomorrow. Brothers and sister. Who's older? He is, okay. Yes, indeed. All right. Rodeo's coming up. What's favorite rodeo food?
What better treat than cotton candy, right? But done with a twist. Backyard Concessions is here, and look at this. This is a cotton candy cake all the way through, and we are going to cut into it.
Said you can slice it just like a regular cake, right?
Yeah, wait till you see what else they have.
Yes, indeed.
And of course, look, The Lunar New Year is approaching, so Sari Sari is here with some great Filipino dishes, and we are gonna help whip one up.
Yes, indeed. And if you like a good Philly cheesesteak, I have been waiting for this. This is from Gino's. Yelp picked the 100 best restaurants in the United States, and this is one of the top 10.
Wow.
Yes, indeed. They just brought that by.
You know you're gonna have to share that, right?
No.
Yes, you are.
No.
Yes, you are.
That and a whole lot more coming up on SA Live.
Yes, you are.
All mine.
No, I'm taking it now.